Hey you guys, so I just finished filming another holiday tutorial on this blacked out smoky eye with a glossy lip. And also, if you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to check out the tutorial that I had already done for a classic red lip, with part 2 being a hair tutorial. But if you guys are interested to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and I wanted to get you guys another holiday tutorial. For the first one, we did like that classic winged liner, a golden look with the red lip. So for this one, I wanted to take the lips a little more nude and do something smokier on the eye. That way you guys would have plenty of options. And get us started, I began with my Bare Minerals Bare Pro Liquid Foundation. I have applied that all over, topped it with the setting powder, and then applied my Bare Minerals Warmth Pressed Bronzer with the Dual Finish Blush and Contour Brush, which is my favorite double-sided brush, perfect for like an easy and lazy contour. And on the lips, I applied my Buxom Full-On Plumping Lip Polish in the shade White Russian Sparkle. White Russian is my all-time favorite shade. So without waiting any further, let's go on ahead and jump right in. Up my face, I'm going to be taking the Bare Minerals Gin Nude Blush in the shade Beige for Days, which is one of my new favorite blushes. It's the perfect neutral if you have a lot of redness on your cheeks like me. After you've worked to cover that up with the foundation application, I don't like to add a lot of that back. This is just like the perfect shade to give me that little pop of color without adding too much. Now taking the Buxom Divine Goddess Cream Highlighter Palette, and I'm going to be going in with the shade Venus, the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm just going to put that down as our cream highlighter. As I've worked with this palette, I find that it works best with fingers versus a brush, so I'm going to be doing that on the tops of the cheekbone, then also applying it to the tip of the nose and right above the arch of each brow. Now going in with the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur palette in the shade Dawn, which is my favorite for like that perfect smoky eye look. It's very nice and neutral, but I'm going to first be starting with this lightest shade right here. So I'm doing this in all the places we used our cream highlighter, so tops of the cheekbones, above each brow, and then we're going to put a little right on the center of the nose. Started with the eyes, I'm going to be taking a blending brush into the crease and applying this medium brown. So I'm just doing that all over to kind of knock off any stickiness and set up a good foundation. Once I have most of the product off the brush, I'm also going to take it, wrap it all the way down below, and go ahead and establish where we can smoke out that lower lash line, which just makes everything nice and smooth. With our liner, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently than we normally would, because I want to create that perfect ultra smoky look. So we're actually going to go ahead and do liner before we go any further with shadow. As always, I am taking the Bare Minerals Round the Clock liner in the shade Midnight. To start off, I just want to line the lower and upper waterline. This is my favorite liner to use in the waterline because it's smudge proof, waterproof. Now I'm just lining to about the pupil, and I'm making this a lot thicker than we would think we would need because we're going to go back in and smoke it out with shadow, and this will be the only liner we do. Our darkest shade in the palette right over here, and a more precise size pencil brush than we began with, I'm just going to start to pack this darkest shade about half the thickness of, like half the area of the lid, not going all the way to the crease because we're actually going to go back in with a different shade for that, but covering about half the lid from inner to outer corner with this darkest shade. And now that we have the upper waterline all smoked out, I'm just going to continue using that same brush in the darkest shade and start to smoke out the lower lash line on that outer corner and working it all the way in, rounding everything through so that it's going to end up being nice and smooth. Our next lightest shade in the palette, this gray color right here, use that to kind of marry where we started with that lighter brown shade and then the black. So this gray is just going to hit everything in between and blend it all out. Those colors together from inner to outer corner until it all looks nice and smooth, and just working that, like I said, into the crease and giving it a nice little swirl at that outer corner to make sure it's smooth. Once I have that smooth, I will work this shade down below, again from inner to outer corner. Don't worry if it looks too dark right here on the very inner corner, because we're going to go back in at the end and lighten that up. So just work it all the way around. And so like I said, not to worry if you feel like your inner corner's got a little dark or you got a little too high up in the crease area. This is when we're going to go back and put on our finishing touches to tie it all together using that lightest shade in the little pencil brush. We're just going to take a good bit of that shade and start to work it all in the inner corner and bring it out further than what you think you need. So kind of make a V shape, coming from the inner corner up here, working it towards the nose, down below. And like I said, that's going to correct any mistakes where it may have gotten a little too dark. And then also taking a little bit of that same shade, we're just going to pop that right underneath the arch of the brow, which will kind of help to raise the eye up and kind of give everything a nice lift. And I'm going to be curling my lashes and applying my Lashtopia mascara, and then I will be right back. Okay, you guys, so I am back. Mascara is on, and this is going to be our completed look. Sometimes I love the way it turns out with just an all blacked out smoky eye and a nice glossy lip. I think it's perfect for the Christmas season, but also any other parties that you guys have going on throughout the year, and could easily be used for New Year's as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please make sure to subscribe. I will have every product used linked down below, and also if you haven't already seen my first holiday tutorial, I will be linking that right here. So I thank you all for watching. Like I mentioned, please subscribe, and I will be seeing you guys very soon.